Well, move over San Francisco and Seattle. Tech startups are expanding to Silicon Prairie. More tech companies and recent grads are flocking to the Midwest for high wages, low operating costs, and of course, lower living costs.
And in fact, AOL co-founder Steve Case recently said that so-called flyover country will be the epicenter of the next wave of innovation.
That's right. He's done this Rise of the Rest tour.
Absolutely. This is fascinating. We got some notes on this. Silicon Prairie, one of the top places for growth in tech jobs. And you look at some of the other places, there's Provo, Utah, Chattanooga, Tennessee, and Silicon Prairie. High-tech workers based in Lincoln, Nebraska, the average salary there is $67,000 a year, about 60% more than the city's average worker. That is fascinating. So you figure now you know why all these young kids are getting into tech.
Right, they're getting into tech, but they're not moving.
No,
some of them not moving to
Some of
San
them don't have
Francisco.
to, yeah.
Some of them don't have to, or Seattle. You and I were talking about the salary. The average salary in Seattle is something like $99,000, so almost a six-figure salary. But the living costs there are so much higher, right? What do you get for that? So you get more bang for your buck in places like Lincoln, Nebraska.
And they say Seattle and San Francisco ruling the industry, but companies increasingly moving operations where the talent is cheaper and where it's easier to retain. So even if you're not making a $99,000 salary as you are in Seattle, you might be making a $65,000 or $75,000 salary elsewhere where the cost of living is cheaper, so it sort of balances out.
But here's the problem, and I think this is what Steve Case is facing as well, because he's doing this Rise of the Rest tour, and he's saying there's all these tech hubs around the country, not just in New York and in San Francisco, is that the problem, the investors, though, are in these cities. They're in New York, they're in San Fran and Seattle. So you kind of have to be in those cities if you want to get your companies funded, you want to make connections. So you are, that is the one problem, is if you are somewhere like St. Louis, Missouri, or elsewhere, you're not at the epicenter of where that money is.
And now the discussion is this real or is it artificial because of government support? I would imagine if one of these companies wants to go somewhere, the municipality, the town may give them tax breaks, tax abatements to put their property there. In turn, you stay there for X amount of years. People make more money. People pay higher property taxes. People pay property taxes. That money can be used ostensibly for road and bridge repair, for school repair, whatever the township might need.